day, and thank you for joining me for your October 2015 forecast for the month. It's a beautiful day in Southern California, and I wanted to take a minute to thank you for subscribing and sharing and joining this YouTube channel experience, and for your loyal support on my Facebook page at Audrey Alison, Astrology and Tarot. I also would like to take time to thank the people who have been donating by using my donation button on my website, which was inspired me to create it by a woman in a town called Manchester by the Sea. When I designed the website, I did not put a donate button on there. I received an email from her, and she asked for me to create one because she was not interested in a reading, but would love to support my business. And I just found that such an overwhelming source of generosity that a few people have donated since, particularly one beautiful client in France of mine, I believe in Provence. But thank you all for donating, and I want to show my gratitude to you for that. And let's get to the month, because there's so much energy going on as usual, but October is special because we're experiencing a few different I want to say fire trine all the time because I'm used to it. Grand trines, earth as well as water. The first transit occurs on the 8th of October with your ruling planet, Venus, exiting Leo after a long, arduous 4-month stay, including a retrograde, entering Virgo through November 8th. Now this transit is very peaceful. Venus entering your 12th house of rest and spirituality and inner thoughts and quiet time is such a beautiful placement, as Venus herself is beautification and even solace and love and money in the 12th house. But the 12th house is about intuition and spirituality. So you could possibly become very fulfilled with prayer and meditation at this time, and getting in touch with ritual and your own inner truth and inner reflection with Venus there. Very peaceful placement for the planet, your ruling planet. On the 9th of October, I want to say happy birthday to a very special Libra out there. Mom, you know who you are. And you might be so happy to know Mercury goes direct on the 9th of October. Direct at 0 degrees of Libra. And officially Mercury will clear his shadow on the 23rd in the evening, the degree mark at which he retrograded, 15 degrees, in your first house. So this retrograde hit you. How did it work out for everybody? How did everybody do with that? And starting the month, he's still retrograde. So, and I'm recording these as he is my ruling planet and retrograde. So please bear with me. My tongue is tripping. So, in the first house, you deal with miscommunication, not understanding things clearly, difficulties with the vehicle, difficulty receiving messages. But with him direct, things are smooth sailing. They should be from the 9th on, officially the 24th on. On the 11th, we're experiencing an aspect that is so different for us. We're usually used to Jupiter in a fire trine with Uranus, but what is happening on the 11th is that Jupiter, stationed in Virgo, along with Venus and Mars, is trining Pluto in Capricorn. So this is an earth trine energy at an exact 13 degrees throughout the remainder of October. From October 11th through the end of the month, your 4th house of home and 12th house, where Venus is stationed, and Mars and Jupiter are connecting, are harmoniously receiving energy back and forth at that 180 degree angle. Now your environment will benefit from this. Jupiter is expansion and luck and blessings and hope and faith. And speaking of faith, spirituality, 12th house, the faith in what you believe in. That energy is all impacted here. Beautiful. Jupiter trining Pluto. Now Pluto's intensity, and you might feel very drawn to meditation at this time, or being within the home, gives you peace at that time. Our new moon on the 12th of October is at 19 degrees of Libra. This is your new moon. This is it in your first house, conjunct a direct Mercury. All the communication flow is in direct motion. And this is your first and only annual new moon in your sign. So on the 12th, make your list of intentions. What do you want to receive? What is your goal of your purpose here for this year? What are your blessings? Make a list. Tuck it under your pillow. Sleep on it. Keep positive. Don't discuss what it is you do not want. Focus on what it is you do want. It makes a difference. Because the universe doesn't knows and yes. It only hears the noun. It hears the action, the verb and the noun. And you want to keep your intentions on the positive so they can be matched and mirrored back to you. It's the law of attraction. That's how that works. It's manifestation, manifest destiny. On the 15th and 16th of October, Mars joins the party with Jupiter at an exact 13 degrees, trining Pluto. So Mars is action and stamina. He's the little brother to the Jupiter, the Jupiterian uncle, the Santa Claus. He wants things to happen so quickly. He has a lot of energy and stamina, and Jupiter moves at a little bit of a slower pace. He takes a year to get through a sign. Jupiter is happiness and luck, and Mars is energy and drive and ambition and speed and tempo. So this theme of theirs together is very funny to me because on the 17th, Mars and Jupiter are at an exact 14 degrees. So they're just together. They're the two little, the brother and uncle is what I'm calling them. Spectacular energy between the 4th house of home and the 12th house of quiet, rest. So a lot of you Librans are getting the much needed rest that you do deserve. The moon joins Pluto on the 19th in Capricorn. So he joins the Earth party and at 13 degrees. So this trine between the moon and Pluto in Capricorn trines Mars at 15 degrees of Virgo, Jupiter at 14 degrees of Virgo, and Venus at 9 degrees of Virgo, your ruling planet. Intuition plus intensity. Beautiful, beautiful energy. In the home environment, from where you come from, your maternal energy, your foundation, your roots. Some of you might be going back to where it is you once were born or once came from. Some of you already live there, but you're more in tune with it and you can feel that energy around you. You might feel the presence of your mothers who have passed at that time as well in the home. Certain scents and smells, the olfactory, can indicate when spirit is around. On the 23rd, the sun enters Scorpio, so he leaves your first house and enters your second house of finance. We love this, right? When the sun enters the possession sector, the self-value and self-worth. He'll be there for a month. That is beautiful transit for your earnings and for an increase in your financial earnings and your feelings towards your possessions and your self-worth. How you feel about yourself, Libra. Very positive energy. On the 27th, we have our full moon at 3 degrees of Taurus. Now this is a super moon, and super moons are closest to the Earth and in direct alignment between the sun and the Earth. And supermoon will not happen again until April of 2016, and that's a new moon, so you still won't get the effect of this big, magnificent face in the sky. This supermoon is going to be off the chain, as it is the blood moon, and it's around Halloween. It's going to be so beautiful. I mean, it takes over all the streetlights. So on the 27th, there's also a grand Earth trine that's happening because of this moon being in Taurus. The moon transits every 2 to 3 days. It's our quickest little satellite that transits. Quickest energy to every 2.5 days or so. So it ignites Jupiter in Virgo and Pluto in Capricorn in the 4th 8th and 12th house. This is the grand earth trine for you. Very quiet, spiritual houses, very restful houses, beautiful, peaceful energy. The full moon is awareness and closure as well. So some of you might be selling property at this time. 8th house, 4th house, intuitively guided to release the property. Or 8th house of shared resources for the home, investments, inheritances, wills, estates. Things that are pending can come to a closure at that time. And an expansion and a closure. A receptivity with the moon. Receptive energy meets abundance with intensity and death and loss. So this could be an inheritance tying up around the 27th. Now on the 31st, after the sun enters Scorpio, that triggers Neptune in Pisces, which will be trining that energy. Neptune's at 8 degrees of Pisces right now. In your 6th and 10th and 2nd house, you will experience a grand water trine with the moon in Cancer, the sun in Scorpio, the 2nd house, and Neptune in Pisces. So this is very nebulous, dreamy, psychic energy, this water trine. It's all happening in your work, finance, money, wealth, health, daily routine sectors, career, retirement, monies, earnings coming in. Super energy, because on the 31st, that's Halloween and Samhain, whatever you're into. So it's when the veil is thinnest between this plane and the spiritual realm, and we're experiencing a very spiritual water trine on that day. The water trines are the most spiritual elements, and water is the most spiritual element, and it's very nebulous and psychic energy that we're receiving on that day. I want to get to the cards, and in each forecast I am paying homage to Pamela Coleman-Smith, who is the illustrator of the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. I'm using normal crisscross Rider-Waite deck. Every reader has one of these decks, but I'm showing her picture, and I'm actually taking some time to discuss her story, because ironically today is the day she passed. And if you watch my Aries forecast, I didn't even realize this today as I record these was the day she died. And I feel her presence and her energy in these readings, and I'm getting very emotional telling her story, but I am giving her the respect that she is due. So just bear with me for a minute, and please hear these words regarding her. She was born in England on February 16th, 1878. She studied art at the Pratt Institute in Brooklyn, New York. So she traveled in between London, Brooklyn, and Kingston, Jamaica, to gain her knowledge and flavor in artistry. In 1903, she joined the Order of the Golden Dawn, which is mostly known for mysticism and artistry, and Aleister Crowley, and something I've always felt very attached to, because way back then, this kind of psychic, intuitive ability was not wasn't something you found on YouTube. Okay, no one. It was a very closed, secretive energy. And in 1909, I'm reading directly now from the card. In 1909, under the guidance of Arthur Waite, she undertook, for a token payment, a series of 78 allegorical paintings, described by Waite as a rectified tarot pack. The designs were published in that same year by William Rider and Son, Rider-Waite. They exemplify the mysticism, ritual, imagination, fantasy, and deep emotions of the artist. Despite her occasional art shows and favorable reviews by critics, the continued slow sales of her works and rejections by commercial publishers left her deeply disappointed. She never married. She had no known heirs or children except for an elderly female companion who shared her flat in London. She died on September 18th, 1951, penniless and obscure. There was no funeral procession to honor her life. There was no memorial service to touch upon the impact her work would one day have upon her admirers. I can't get through that without getting emotional. She died disappointed that her paintings and writings failed to achieve success, yet she never stopped believing in herself. Pamela Coleman Smith would all but be forgotten except for the 78 tarot paintings known as the Rider-Waite Tarot Pack. She would no doubt be astonished and gladdened to know that today the deck touches the hearts and emotions of millions of people. I cry every time I read it. It's like, I can't. Okay, so Pamela, this is for you. And I'm going to tell Librans what they have in store for October 2015. And if you'd like to read with me, I'm at Audrey Alison, Astrology and Tarot. I also wanted to let you know on October 15th, I was asked back again for a third time as a special guest on the air live, the Goddess Alive radio show, where I am conducting free live tarot taster readings on the air for callers who call in, and more information, including the call-in number, will be posted on my Facebook page, Audrey Alison, Astrology and Tarot. Libra, here is your forecast for October. What's up? That's me, the High Priestess. Spirituality, the 12th house of rest and spiritual guidance, mysticism. The High Priestess is the second or the third major arcana card. Even though she has the Roman numeral 2 above her, she represents the sign of Gemini. Very, very, very psychic card. In fact, the most intuitive card out of all of the 78 in the deck, but of the major arcana, the top 21 cards, 22 cards, she is the most psychic, next to the moon too. Let's see what else comes up. Queen of Wands. Oh, look at the black kitty by her for Halloween. This is artistry. This is paid for your talents. This is taking action. This is a fire sign female. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. It represents hard work and taking aim at your talents as well. Love this card. Absolutely gorgeous illustration. The Two of Swords. It's opposition, maybe between yourself. Interesting. You see how this has the Roman numeral 2 on it? This has the 2 on it as well. I'm into symbols, and I don't believe in coincidence. I want to see what else comes up. But the Two of Swords is opposition. It's also a decision that needs to be made by you alone, or the choice between two directions. The swords are the air, the thought. It's not physical opposition or action like the wands would be. It's the struggle here. Let's see what else comes up. There's a couple cards. The Seven of Cups, having all of the tools you need for success and happiness, intuition as well, guidance, happiness, magical fulfillment through intuition. And the Empress, fertile ideas, fertility, pregnancy. For those of you Librans who are able to conceive and heading down that route, you see how Venus is on her shield? That's your ruling planet. And Venus is entering the 12th house on the 8th. The house of rest might lead you to the boudoir, to the bedroom, Libra, where you might dream up your ideas through rest, or you might be conceiving your fertile seeds through some creativity in the bedroom. Now, let me put these together here. You know, you have a lot of feminine symbols here. The Empress and the High Priestess are major arcana cards. The Queen of Wands. So the feminine energy is very abound, Libra. And, you know, Librans, ruled by Venus, the most feminine of signs. You really have to trust your instinct and intuition right now, which is absolutely spot on with Jupiter sitting in your 12th house of psychic ability, expanding you right now. I don't think there's a Libra around that You can't pull the wool over the Libra's eyes right now. You see how that dude's blindfolded? No one's getting past you. Nothing gets past you. And you are coming up with all of your own original ideas right now. You're the creator. Venus is with you at the top of the month. Your ruling planet is really all over these cards right now. If there's a decision that needs to be made, choose the thing that makes you happiest and most fulfilled. This is intuition at its best as well. Now, you have to take a little bit of action to get what it is that you want, but these aren't money cards right now. These are about internal guidance and knowing when to speak and when not to speak. The High Priestess is quiet. The High Priestess is restful. So you can watch everyone else spin themselves into a frenzy, but you remain as calm as the oceans behind this person. Thank you for joining me. My name is Audrey Alison, and remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.
Makes you think of